Yeah, that'd be awful. Nothing quite like a bad roommate. And I had a couple of them in college. I had one that was a pretty big dude. He was about 6'4", maybe 200, which back in my day, that was really big. And he was a decent guy, but he just had an edge about him. And I
Yeah.
recall at one point I came home from class and he was eating a pizza. And I remember thinking, okay, well, when I left for class 2 hours ago, there was one pizza in this apartment and it was mine. And I walk in and I see him eating and I go, just out of curiosity. And before I could even finish this sentence, he goes, yeah, it's your fucking pizza. What are you going to do about it?
Oh my God, man.
And I'm like, well, I guess not a lot at this point. Yeah, it was pretty ugly. It was pretty ugly. I had some amazing roommate stories from Michigan State. I'll just share one quick one with you, one more because it's just, to me it's so funny. Is it? I still recall the guy's name. It was Cliff, and Cliff was a playa, and I lived with Cliff my second term at Michigan State. I move in with him, and there's a brown paper bag, a big grocery sack over in the corner, kind of all crumpled up, looking like it's a very old sack. And I'm like, wonder why he would keep a sack that long. I wonder what the hell's in that. So I said, "Hey Cliff, what's in that bag over there?" He goes, "Dude, open it up, check it out. You're gonna love it." So I opened up this grocery bag, and there were probably 35 pairs of panties,
Whoa.
and ranging in size from like a child's size all the way up to you could sort of like paraglide with
There's just no.
this so large, or could use it as one of those like canopying sun bonnets on a beach, or as a tarp for a local revival. So anyway, I thought that was funny, and so
Start
that
from a local revival.
yeah, he every girl he ever had sex with, he just kept their panties, and how he did this, I'm not sure, but it was
Oh,
it
can't
was such
find
a
them.
it was
That's how you do it.
it was such a conversation piece.
Part of the reason I left my last job was because I
You were
used
fired?
to wake up. I used to wake up in the morning at.
Well, that
6
was your
in the-
first mistake.
Yeah, I know. I used to wake up at 6 in the morning, and I would look at my phone, and there would be waiting for me like a dozen emails and notifications from my boss and other people in the company who were already up and working, many of whom were in the UK. And then I would go to bed, and I would receive emails at like 11 o'clock at night from other people who are still working. It was just like, it was the most insane. And not that I'm even necessarily opposed to working a lot or even that much. It was just, that was every day.
Yeah.
Like there was just no opportunity to just check out from work.
Well, and yeah, I totally agree. And the worst part of that, I think, is, and ironically, we were talking about, in essence, almost the same thing before we started recording this podcast, is because of that process of being constantly connected and constantly on, I think what happens over time is that you become conditioned to be on all the time, even when you don't want to be, even when you're trying not to be, and even when you don't have to be. It's just impossible to shut that switch off for some people. It absolutely is impossible for me.